everybody. This is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher. Can y'all hear me? How you doing? Can y'all hear me? Uh, it's been so many different stories in the news been going on. I just did June 4th, Tracy Chapman for Pride and Black Music Month. Please check out Mother for the other 3 days as well. Everyone, you already know Prince is gonna be on the 7th. Okay. And before y'all say, "Oh, Prince is LGBTQ," come on, he's a man that wears makeup, eyeliner, high heels, but still could pull all the bitches, yours included. And at one time for 7 years was an unpronounceable symbol, and it was a combination of a male and female symbol. So yeah, he would be the Q in the LGBTQIA. Okay, he would be queer. He would be, yeah, not me. Yeah, come on, heels, and he could take your woman too. Yeah, he's on the 7th, so remember that. Also I want to say today Elder Boyd's birthday. He's not part of LGBTQIA, but I just remember last year I think I did both of them. Both their birthdays were this week, so but shout out to him. Trying to think, but definitely check out my Tracy Chapman video. Please check out the article that I put in the description and in the chat, and also the video of Secretary of Education Linda McMahon's testimony. I saw her testimony, I think from yesterday. I think it was yesterday. So I thought, hey, Black Anonymous, good to see you too. I thought, but you know me, I'm always getting news alerts. And so when I saw this news alert, and I was actually planning on doing another live, which I'm still going to do that one, about Jonathan Joss, who is an actor, best known as the voice of John Redcorn for King of the Hill, and also Chief Ken Hatate for Parks and Recreation. He is a San Antonio, Texas native, and his birthday would have been like in this coming December. So he was 59 years old, and he and his husband were victims of basically a hate crime. Their home had been burnt to the ground. They've been harassed by neighbors. They went back to their former home to get their mail, and they found, I think, the remains of their dog. Then one of the neighbors that didn't like them came over there to harass them, call them homophobic names, and shot him. And he later died. And so a lot of people from Parks and Recreation, and I think King of the Hill, really a lot more of the Parks and Recreation people, they've been giving their condolences. Jonathan Joss's husband gave out a statement, which I'm going to, when I do my next slide, I'm going to go over all that. Shout out to Permaculture Primrose. She's, I think, the only other YouTuber that I've seen cover it. I've seen like the news stations, the Texas news stations, like especially San Antonio, talk about it. I've seen it more on Facebook. Hopefully it gets more traction over here on YouTube. And I definitely need to cover it as well. Hold on, did you say? Did you know that Tracy related to Jackson? Janet said so. Oh, on her mom's side of the family? Oh, I didn't know that. On her mom's side of the family or her dad's side of the family? Because they said in Janet's documentary that Samuel L. Jackson is also related to them as well, and Stevie Wonder. You're multitasking. That's good. Sometimes I do that too, but thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all need to check out Black Anonymous' channel. She does coverage about Dr. Umar Johnson, who is a Pan-Africanist scholar, leader, whatever. But he does a lot of things that are not helpful to the Black community, and she exposes a lot of that. So, but I really want to talk about, and this is the thing, I wanted to talk. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? Hold on. Something going on. Y'all still hear me? Okay. All right. So I had wanted to really talk about. I've been wanting to watch her testimony, but she makes me so mad. Um, it just you gotta get in the mindset. But then when I saw the news and then I saw the video and I put the timestamp of the video. So basically, today, I think she was at the Senate yesterday. I think today was the House. So they're going over. Remember, they have the budget, right? And so in the budget is how much money goes to each, I guess, section or department. So they were asking her specifically questions about, because the president's like, oh, he doesn't want DI, about things about loans, about scholarships, about things that are supposed to be paid out, grants and scholarships, grants and stuff and funding to schools, and they want to know, like, well, where you not putting out the money, why not, and where is it going, and is this still your intention? You know, ex- do the Trump's agenda. Okay, so Representative House member Summer Lee, actually, a lot of them asked her questions. The Senate questions yesterday, they was on her, especially former president of the Senate, President Pro Tem of the Senate, Patty Murray. She was giving her the business yesterday. And I got other people too. Today was Summer Lee and I think Talik. I forget what that lady's name is from Minnesota. But the question that I think went viral today was U.S. House Member Representative Summer Lee's asking Secretary of Education Linda McMahon, saying, you want to get rid of all these, DIs basically be made illegal. You're not supposed to have them, practices in education. And what about the curriculum? And so she started naming certain things that are, she asked specifically, she said, hey, would a lesson, she started giving her examples. She said, would a lesson about the Tulsa race massacre, would that be considered illegal? DI. And the lady said, I'll have to get back to you on that. Now, mind you, I'm going to say I'm biased, of course, because it makes me more qualified than this woman to be Secretary of Education. She, over 30, 40 years ago, was studying French. She's going to be a French teacher, but then she got married. She has a French degree. She never did the education part of it, like, student teaching. Never taught in a classroom. She got married, and then she helped her husband in his business. Vince McMahon. They owned some type of sporting event center. Then they got money, or they got his dad before WWE was WWF, and then they took it and she helped him run it, and it turned it into what it is today. And so she used to be the Small Business Administration under Trump, under 45, when he was number 45, which I can understand. Small business, okay. But now she is on the America First committee. If you Google America First and you go to the board members, you're going to see her face. You can look at their agenda, and that's exactly what she's advocating for. She used to be a board member on another, I forget, state or county's board of education, and then she ended up resigning because they found out that she had never been in the classroom. They just was under the impression that she was in the classroom, but no, she never been in the classroom. Then this time around, he made her Secretary of Education after she was helping to campaign for him and gave him money. So just like the money for parties, money, loyalty, and votes, and getting other people to vote for you, that's how you get positions in his cabinet. If he wanted her to be Secretary of Labor, I would have been okay. Jobs, okay. Education, but you want someone who put forth, your ideas, and she's definitely doing that. But they asking you questions. I want to say, let me go back. I think they may even asked her about the Holocaust. And I need to go back and see what she said about that. And I remember something she said about having different points of view. And I'm just like, ma'am, they asked you a specific question. Now I understand. As I put my thumb there, like, okay, she studied French, so she maybe she didn't cover that part when she went to school. But then I thought about it. I was like, okay, History Channel, Encyclopedia Britannica's online, A&E biography, the U.S. government and the state Oklahoma government. And I think I just read that is it the mayor or the governor wants to start a fund to give reparations to the descendants of the Tulsa Race Massacre. So I'm thinking like, okay. And then I thought about the movie series, The Watchmen. The Watchmen, I want to say, is either episode 1 or 2 is literally the Tulsa Race Massacre. I forget which episode, because it was they wanted to know why did this black man wanted to kill this person, the chief, and they started doing the DNA match, and this girl found the DNA match was her grandfather, who was alive during the Tulsa Race Massacre. And then I think one of the episodes, I need to find the episode and put it in the description. They literally do a great job, because it's going to trigger you for real. Other Tulsa Race Massacres, I'm thinking like, okay, there's all this evidence out here now. Maybe there wasn't something that y'all read about in y'all's book when you were in school. But I'm like, you are the Secretary of Education. Shouldn't you be somewhere reading up on, studying up on, or someone in the office giving you some notes or something for you to look at? Shouldn't you be prepping with someone so you can answer these questions? You're the Secretary of Education. They're asking you education questions. And you're sitting up there tomorrow. Oh, I have to get you back to you on that. Really? You couldn't use your context clues? Inference, Tulsa Race Massacre. Or you could say Tulsa Race Riot. Come on, think about in this country. Anytime you've heard the word race or the word massacre, what most likely is happening? Somebody's dying. Now, historically speaking, in this country, anytime you heard massacre, Wounded Knee Massacre, okay, the Boston Massacre. What is happening during a massacre? People are dying. Someone is getting shot. Now, what you could have asked, because it'd be a teachable moment, well, Miss Representative Summerlee, can you please explain to me what the Tulsa Race Massacre? When I was in school, I was studying French. I didn't understand that, so maybe I can answer your question if you inform me. That was a teachable moment for you, but you don't want to look stupid, but you still looking stupid because you said, let me get back to you on that. And I'm looking at you like, but then I thought about it. Okay, the last Secretary of Education was a former chancellor of New York Public Schools, and I believe he was Ivy League. Me and him are the same age, so he would have learned about that somewhere in his education. Orrin Duncan, who actually is Columbia grad like myself. I know Obama administration. He's a few years older than me. He would have had something, yeah. If he didn't know, these men didn't know, someone in their office knew. That's why you surround yourself with people who are much more knowledgeable than you, so they can help prepare you for your job. Like, where's Triple H? Help your mother-in-law, man. She need help. I'm gonna go back to see what she said in the Holocaust. Now But really, Tulsa Race Massacre? And then she even asked, like, hey, do you even know what that is? And then she kept saying, I'll get back to you on that. There was nobody behind you. That's from the office could have who could have been Googling that or like giving you the information. Maybe someone need to pass it in your ear. And they watch and they tell you what the information. Maybe that's what you need. They tell me make it think like when people think it's a hearing aid. Like something's just not computing. Because now I feel like when you come down there next time, people are gonna have other questions like, okay, ma'am, should we what else could they have asked her that she was like, oh, I gotta come back to you on that. I'm like, you are the Secretary of Education, and you're supposed to be dismantling the Department of Education. But guess what? Is it the Supreme Court? One of those justices said you don't have the authority to dismantle the Department of Education. Well, your boss, President Trump, doesn't have the authority to give you to dismantle the department. Even though they cut out some people out of that department. They wanted people starting last month to start paying their loans back, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna take out your social security benefits." And I think that's been put on hold. He can forgive pardons, but you can't forgive student loan. Maybe that makes sense to me. And every time I turn around, he keeps writing different stuff that gives Linda more work to do. So I'm like, how is she supposed to get dismantled a department when you keep giving her more to do? And by her being up there and not being able to ask her questions, because there was other questions those people asked her too. And this is the thing. This is the same woman who does not know that what IDEA means, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Someone on Fox News tried to help her figure out what that meant. She's like, "Oh, this is only my 5th day on the job. I think it knows deals with disabilities." I'm like, how are you going on these? How are you going in front of Congress? How are you going on television and not knowing what you're talking about? Trump has picked some, loyal ones. He has picked some very loyal ones. But he's picked some incompetent ones too. But I think he's picked some ones that he can bully or think like him enough that they'll just do whatever. And I'm just like, but you want to dismantle this department and give it over to the states. You know about the stuff I talk about in my state. I don't want my state in control of the education. Someone needs to be over them. My friends who are teachers in Houston, they're suffering. Their school district got taken over. We're Blue County, Blue City. Their blue school district. One school out of all the schools failed, and they took over the whole district. And put this man in charge who came and did all these changes. All them changes y'all see Trump up there doing, he just like, dang, he just came. Basically, how Elon came in there, that's how Mike Miles came out here at HISD. And I think they just said the other day, he going to be here until 2027. And I think, I forget who it is. There's like a person above the appointed superintendent, just Mike Miles. Is it conservator? I think the conservator said, "Oh yeah, HISD, we see some improvement. They can go back to the way they used to be." Well, they didn't do that. They say Mike Miles gonna be there until 2027, and he is suspect too, because he's done this, hatchet job in Dallas. Just y'all, if you didn't vote the last time, I'm gonna need you to vote this time. And those of you who did vote for Trump, The last time, I'm gonna need you to not vote for nobody associated with him in the midterm elections. I will eventually come on here and tell you who is up for a re-election in the midterms. If any of them are MAGA Republicans or Republicans, or maybe some weak Democrats. Hopefully, Democrats seem like they're trying to get their shit together. Because I think they just flipped another seat. Because there was a special election, I think, in what's it first? West Virginia or Virginia? I'm gonna come back. Y'all been FAFO since January 20th. Since January 20th. You gotta do something. All y'all who own student loans, all you got kids going to college, Linda McMahon is Secretary of Education. And then she wants to do all this stuff. I want to talk about this tough stuff, the Harvard, her and Chrissy Nome. Like, oh, Jesus, fix it. Jesus, help us to fix it. Because I just feel like, yeah. Protests are good. Coming in Congress are good. Voting is good. Yes, we need to do all of this. Because right now, it's like each different sector of society is being attacked. Once whatever they do to one group, they're gonna do it to the next one. Right now, they're doing crazy stuff for Pride Month. It's all their fault. It's just like Harvey Milk name off the side of a U.S. naval ship. He was a Korean War veteran who started in the U.S. Navy. All these cities having these ice raids. But I think it was San Diego, Massachusetts, and I think Minneapolis. Minneapolis and San Diego, they pushing back. They had people out in the streets. And I would like to see more of it, but I also want to see more white bodies too. Because it seems like they don't hit y'all back, but they hit the black ones back. And the ICE is locking up the brown ones. So I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. And the students are now protesting. One is in Milford, Massachusetts. They put over someone who's basically here legally. They were looking for his father, and they got him instead, and they still took him in. So his classmates out here protesting. His coaches out here speaking out. Not another student in New York. They're speaking out. They're having marches. Okay, so yeah, I'll just this is let me see your transcript. Your very favorite history teacher. I'll just anything in the news, I'm gonna come back on here and tell you about it. I don't know what I'm getting messages and stuff. Please see my videos. I will talk to y'all later on. Again, this is Let Me See Your Transcript for history teacher. Y'all have a good rest of y'all night. I will see y'all tomorrow. Talk to y'all later. Thank you, Black Anonymous. Excuse me, for coming through, and anyone else in the bushes or the clouds, thank you for watching. Thank you for those who are going to watch this on the replay. Please share this. Please read the article. Please go to the timestamp in the description. Okay? And y'all listen to it for yourself. Because if you disagree with me, you can. Just go in the description, going in the comment section, let me see the transcript. I don't, maybe you've been a little too harsh on her. Or maybe you're like, yeah, I agree with you. Because I love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Bye.